Hi, my name is David Adam, and this is my presentation on Medford Township and the donut community of Medford Lakes, which both share the same zip code 08055 in southern New Jersey. What is a donut community? This is a donut community. This little outline here is Medford Lakes. This is Medford Township, and they are both in Burlington County in South Jersey. Over here is Camden, and over here is Philly. This is downtown Medford. This town was established in the 1600s but did not incorporate until 1966. I think it's charming. Here is a photo of Medford Lakes. You can see this is a lakeside community with lakefront property. The population for all of Medford Township as of 2019 was 27,620, was slightly less in 2010 and slightly less in 2000, with a low population density. It is not congested, although some community members would tell you differently. Compared to the state average, the household income is above state average, and Black and Hispanic people are not represented in this population. The median age is above the state average. Foreign-born people are not represented in this population. Many more people here own than rent, and houses are bigger than the average. Number of rooms per house is bigger. So here are the racial demographics in a pie chart. The big part of the pie is white, and those are the other racial demographics. Got the numbers for them here, and you can see that it is mostly white and not too closely followed by other races. I thought it was strange that city data used the term American Indian instead of Native American. Here's the age distribution from the 2020 census for all of Medford Township. Lot of children and teens, young adults, and a lot of middle-aged and elder folks. And this is Medford Lakes, where we can see that even more dramatically. Lots of children and teens, not a lot of folks in their 20s, and a lot of middle-aged folks. So it tells me it's a family community, a place where people go to raise kids. Slightly more females than males in all of Medford Township. Almost everybody has a high school diploma. Over half have a bachelor's degree. About a quarter have a graduate degree or professional degree. 4.1% unemployment. And the mean travel time to work is 33.7 minutes, which is just about how long it takes to drive to Philly. Out of these statistics, we can see most of the population over 15 years old is married. Here is the median age for the zip code versus the state. So like we said, a little higher. And here's the median income compared to the state. So like we said, higher. What are people doing for work? Most people are working for private companies, and significantly less, this purple here is for our zip code, are self-employed nonprofits or in various levels of government or other types of self-employment. And here are the median earnings, which we can see get close to 100K or exceed 100K. And we can see these occupations are legal, computer and math, architecture and engineering, management, business and financial, life, physical, and social science. But the major employers in this zip code as of 2005, so this is a little dated, but the major employers are grocery stores, waste management, nursing care, limited service restaurants, computer facilities, retirement communities, physicians except for mental health, dentists, and full service restaurants. So this tells me that a lot of people who work in 08055 do not necessarily live here, or with the restaurants, maybe the children of residents, because the wait staff at most restaurants here tends to be more high school and college age kids, where I've lived in other communities where adults are part of the wait staff. And yeah, but most of these are goods and services for people that live here, not necessarily provided by people that live here. Crime rates in Medford Township compared to Medford Lakes, they're both pretty low, but Medford Township has slightly more violent crimes and slightly more property crimes per 100K as of 2019. Here are the crime stats, violent crime stats for Medford Lakes down here with a spike in 2018 compared to Jersey in blue compared to USA in gray. There is a large concentration of houses of worship within Medford Township. There's Medford Lakes down there, and this is all within Medford Township, and all those blue icons are different houses of worship. They are mostly different denominations of Christianity, including non-denominational. There is a Jewish temple, and here are more churches. So it tells me that worship or spirituality is an important part of the lives of a lot of people in this community. The Medford Township webpage has an overview of institutions. I've highlighted anything that is a large or well-known national institution like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Knights of Columbus, Lions Club, Masonic Lodge, American Cancer Society, YMCA, and JCC, so Young Men's Christian Association Camp, Jewish Community Centers Camp. Is this a good community? According to the Ohio State University Extension article, although it's an ideal, so it doesn't exist, a good community should have safety, access to goods and services, meaningful relationships, common goals and values, being able to know the whole person, predictable daily activities and happenings, an established role, a place to belong, opportunities to engage for growth and fulfillment, and a balance between homogeneous and heterogeneous. So they talk about diversity at the community level, but not at the block level to decrease conflict. I would say that this community is safe and has pretty good access to goods and services. I'd like to see more public transportation, more mental health services. I haven't been able to do a deep dive into how people feel about their relationships. I feel like I have some meaningful relationships here. Same with the community overall, feelings about values and goals. There is some political polarization. Me personally, I'm part of a sub-community in this community that is a recovery community, and that certainly has common goals and values. I've been able to get to know some people pretty well, but I haven't really been able to interview my neighbors about how they feel about how well they know each other. Things are definitely predictable here in terms of the day-to-day. The article spoke about how in post-industrial society, less people feel like they have a place and there's more anonymity and isolation, but that is more common in major metropolitan areas, and the population here is a little less dense, so even though we are a post-industrial society, so I'm sure that's here, it's probably a little lower than more densely populated areas. I feel like the people who can afford to live here are able to engage in the community in a fulfilling way, but the price here is exclusionary, and that goes back to the next point about diversity. So on the block level, there is diversity on my little block. Most of the residents here are Indian, and those families have been very nice to me and my wife and invited us into their houses for Diwali and things like that. I've had neighbors invite me into their house for Seder or for a Christmas dinner. But on the community level, the larger community, we could stand to have more diversity, which we saw in the demographics. Which brings me to these affordable housing initiatives, which are pretty exciting. And if you copy and paste these links, you can see that these are actually some pretty nice looking places, and it explains the approval and application process. And then these page numbers correspond to this link. And all of these units are whole apartment buildings that are all affordable housing, and one is being built maybe 500 feet from me, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. I hope the public transportation in this area can accommodate it. There are parking spots, but it doesn't look like there are as many parking spots as there will be residents. And these are other affordable housing initiatives and places in Medford, which correspond to the link that I showed you on the previous page. But these are units within apartment buildings. So the entire building isn't affordable housing, but units within the building are affordable housing. And yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm hopeful about it. I hope it's truly affordable housing and not just called affordable housing, but turns out to actually not be affordable. And I hope the public transportation in this area can accommodate it. And here are my references. And thank you for listening to me. And I look forward to hearing all of your presentations. Have a nice day.